Alright gang, welcome back to our Skyefin Aquafarm series here in Kinlaig. It is now February, still stuck here in the winter months, so not a whole lot going on, but we're going to start off as we've been doing on a pretty consistent basis here with the normal, which is picking up all the fish and rotating the fish around and selling whatever is remaining, and kind of moving along from there. Probably do some more contract today, at least one more contract today if there's anything out there. There may not be. It is obviously February, it's winter months, so I don't expect there to be a ton, but nonetheless, we will see what we can get up to today besides the normal. But we'll start with the normal, see where we get to money-wise. I suspect that we're going to be over 100,000, but we're going to have to obviously buy some more fish food, which will put us back down a little bit. So more than likely, we're probably going to be looking at somewhere around the range of 95-ish thousand, maybe 98,000 when all is said and done, after we buy more fish food, of course. Whoops, evidently I did not line that up properly. I don't know how I'm not... Okay. Well, I guess we'll go with that. It's not really perfect, but you know, it's staying up there, so I'm not going to complain. Anyway, how's everyone doing today? Hope you're all doing well. Things are good here, man. All things considered, a very this episode should be coming out on, I believe, New Year's Day. So very happy New Year's to you. Got a couple of weeks left before I will be in Vegas for a big birthday for me, a big number birthday for me. So that's going to be exciting. I know I've talked about that in the past, so I won't really bring up it now, but I am very excited about that trip. It's going to be fun. I think I just lost one. Well, it just tipped over is all it is. Okay, well. It's not exactly perfect. But, you know, we'll fix it nonetheless. Alright, that'll do the trick for that. Let's pick up these last two, and then we'll head on up and get the remainder stuff that we're going to be going ahead and selling, which is going to be specifically the adult trout, right? I've also considered maybe reworking a little bit of the yard area, more specifically in regard to possibly putting down a second trout lake. I've been kind of really considering that, because that will definitely, you know, bump our numbers up pretty heavily as far as amount of money we're making, right? So I've considered doing that as well. I just don't know exactly where I'd be able to do so. We kind of talked already about the area where the current trout lake is, and you know, there's a chance for us to be able to do, you know, put another one down right next to it, but it doesn't look correct. It's not deep enough. You're not even going to really be able to see the fish. And I'm not even sure that it would actually work properly. I haven't tested it any more than the fact of showing you what it looks like when I try to put it down and how it kind of overlaps, right? So I'm not even positive that it would even work properly. So I haven't taken the chance on even trying it out. But there is some other areas in our yard area that I think we're not really utilizing to the fullest that we could be utilizing right now. Might make things a little bit tighter in regard to the amount of land we have to maneuver around, but I think there's still a slim chance that we might be able to do so with one of these trout lakes. So when we get up here, I'm obviously going to, you know, unload some of the young trout in here to become adult trout in the current lake we've got, but we're going to take a peek before we move on and go sell things first and see if it makes sense or not for us to be able to purchase another lake or not in the area that I'm thinking about. And it probably, well, it may not, I guess is how I should put it. Probably is not the right answer, but so if we go into here, what I'm thinking, I've got to move this out of the way, but if I put, you know, a lake here, it might work, but I'm afraid it might be too big and it might stick out, you know, this far. Just looking at it, I think, you know, our land probably goes to about here, right around in here. It's going to be tight, right? It's going to be a tight squeeze, I think, to make that fit there. But you know, it's worth at least looking, I think. So it's saying overlap, but it does look like it's going to work. You know, putting one here. So I think we'll probably end up doing that. I mean, in the long run, that's going to make us a hell of a lot more money than it currently is. Now, right now, obviously, we're going to take a bit of a hit to what we're going to be selling, because obviously we're going to put a lot of these young trout in there. But I do think it's for the best, right? We were talking about this a couple of episodes back and how it'd probably be smart for us to consider doing this, right? Adding a second lake in. And I think now is probably a perfect time to do so. We've kind of talked about, you know, the land and stuff, and we're pretty far off from being able to get that amount. And even today, even if we sold everything, I do not think we're going to get the amount we require to buy another field. So having said all of those things, I do think the best approach here is to consider doing another trout lake, since we're making quite a bit of trout now. And since we have plenty of money to buy the fish food to, you know, continue to do so, right? So, yeah, let's put one down here. I kind of think I want to put it pretty close to the edge here, like as close as it'll let me, and then I'm going to kind of go backwards as far as it'll let me too. So about there. That gives plenty of room, or at least it should give plenty of room for us to maneuver around. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, we can't do it there. There's not enough room there. I was considering maybe there'd be enough room there, but there's not. Similar here, yeah. We only have a little bit of that room that we own there, so. Let's see if we can get this as close as we can. Right about there. 14,772. It's not cheap, because it's going to do some land manipulation clearly there. But, yeah, let's go for it. All right, it is there. It is in the ground now. There's not a way for us to back out at this point. We are set in stone here. Well, I guess I can delete it right now since I haven't left the menu, which all of you properly, you know, explained to me. But nonetheless, we do have a second trout lake now, which I think is a great addition here. It looks like most of the manipulation actually happened down here, which it's probably not going to allow me to do a whole lot here because I don't really own most of this land. So it's not too big of a deal for us, right? It's not really harming anything that we've got going on, which I think is a good thing. So I'm going to spend a little bit more money here just trying to smooth out the edges as much as I can, as much as it lets me. It's obviously not going to let me do all of it, but as much as it'll allow me to do, I'm going to go ahead and do that. All right, so there we go. So let's go drop off the remainder of the young trout here as much as it'll allow us to put into it. I believe it should be over on the left side that we're going to be dropping this off, so it'll be somewhere in this region. So there it goes. They are all going into the lake now. This is perfect. All right, that looks like that might be all they will accept. Quick autosave here. No going back for sure now at this point. And it looks like they do accept more. There it goes. So all of the trout, basically, that we have is all now put into this new lake. And obviously, it's not quite enough there, right? So, but that's okay, right? This is all a good thing, in my opinion, because we're going to be making a hell of a lot more adult trout with this. I'm going to turn all of them on, understanding that there's no fish food there yet. We're going to have to buy even more fish food than we did before. So the odds are we're going to have a little bit less money when all this is said and done here, I guess is how I should put it, right? We're going to have probably significantly less more money because we're going to buy a lot more fish food. So I'm probably going to buy, you know, a lot more fish food than I would have in the past, I guess. And so we're going to probably see, you know, we're not going to, well, first of all, we're not going to get to the amount of money we started the episode with, and that's fine. But secondly, and probably more importantly, we are going to spend a lot more money than we ever have on fish food because of this new addition. Now, fully transparent with you, we don't have to buy that much more. It only holds 3,000 liters of fish food, and if we look at the shop here, go down to food here, I can't remember exactly, there's 2,000. So really, we only need to buy 2 more pallets from what we normally do. Normally, we buy 8, so we're going to have to buy, I think we bought a little bit more last time, but we're just going to buy a few extra this time, which is going to hurt us this month. But again, it's a winter month. We're not going to have enough to buy anything anyway, so we might as well do it now and then get ourselves in preparation, if you will, for when it's time to start actually planting, like this field, for example, right? We've got the one field planted. We're just in the waiting period right now, but Our smaller one here is just, it's been prepped, it's ready to go. It's just a matter of us being able to do so with the season, right? Has to be the right time for us to be able to plant or seed this field. And it's just not quite there yet. Okay, so having said that, we do have 4,000 liters of adult trout, which is great. So we're going to go sell these. We're going to try the marketplace again. Full transparency, I'm doing this recording before the last episode was released, so I don't know the comments on that. But anyway, I'm going to be doing that again because all of you have told me that you do get a better bonus overall, even if the price is less at the market. So we're going to go there, and we're going to keep rocking that and just see how things move along as we get closer and closer here to our end goal. But yeah, let's head on over there. Let's sell these, and then obviously we'll go sell the remainder of the young salmon at the typical sell point, which is over there by the pier or the dock or the harbor, whatever. So let's go do that, and we'll see where we're at money-wise, and then we're going to pick up some fish food, and we'll be back here at the yard with all of the fish food that we purchased. All right, we're pulling back up here to the yard. So I ended up going with 4 extra pallets of fish food versus what we normally buy, which should be more than plenty. It should be very sufficient to be able to accomplish what we're looking for. We'll probably have some left over, if I'm honest with you. Did it take any of that? It feels like it didn't, but I don't know. I guess it did. It said 99%, so it had to have. Okay. Didn't really feel like it, but I guess it did. Anyway, we're going to bring these back over here. We're going to take a look after this as well at the contract list. I would suspect it's going to be very similar. Okay, there we go. Both fish lakes are in a good spot here. They don't obviously have enough young trout on both sides, but they will get back up to maxed out as we carry along, right? Yeah, good. So we're going to have a lot more adult trout being made for us, and more than likely, it'll probably be all entirely adult trout. Now, what I might end up doing, and which we kind of talked about, we kind of talked about in recent episodes as well, was buffing up the trout, the amount of trout that's being created, right? So we've got this extra fish food now, which is going to be great. Like I said, I fully suspect that we're going to have some pallets left over. So I'm very, very, very much considering doing that, turning that on, especially now that we have 2 trout lakes going. I think it's only going to help. If we get to a point where we've got those trout lakes maxed out and we're making tons of extra trout, young trout, right, then maybe we can drop it back down. But for the time being, and I guess whenever we need it, I guess it can really work for whenever we need it, we can just turn on the extra trout production, the 2-time trout production. Right? So I think we're going to do that. And there you go, prime example. I told you I wasn't going to be able to... Well, actually, I don't think I got close enough. Let me get a little closer here then. There we go. I was going to say, I don't think it was going to take all of it, and it didn't. But it took most of it. So now we just got to get this unloaded. I'm going to go ahead and turn on that double trout right now. Now, I don't know if I should leave the regular trout on. I think I'm going to turn it off. I think I'm just going to turn on the double trout and leave the regular trout off for the time being. It doesn't look like it's really bumping it up all that much, but the actual cycles per month, if you look at that, it is significantly going faster. It does cost a hell of a lot more money per month, though. Oh, does it cost a lot more money? Holy smokes. Well, we'll let it grow for a little while. We'll give it a shot for a little while, right? If it becomes too much, then we'll turn it off, like I mentioned, right? But we can at least give it a shot. All right, so let's get these off here. This is probably not going to be the best thing in the world to try to do, because they're all kind of at different intervals here. But I think we'll be able to do it. Perfect. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, man. Perfect. We'll back this back up where it belongs, over here. And we'll bring the tractor back up to its rightful home in our yard. And as you can see, we're about at $68,000, which is, you know, near makes no difference where we were at in the last episode, right? Before we sold stuff. So we made some upgrades because of this. So in the long run, it's going to make us a hell of a lot more money, but we kind of lost all the progress, I guess, we made in the last episode. But, you know, doing that big contract we did was one of the reasons we were able to put down that secondary trout lake, right? Because we got $11,000 for that big contract we did, right? So, totally worth it, in my eyes. Long run, we're going to make a hell of a lot more money because of this, so we'll take it. Let me park this up here where it's supposed to be parked. In the end there of the last episode, I kind of put it in front of the house again, but you know, we decided to kind of move them and leave them over here because this is a better spot for them. Just didn't do it last time. I kind of forgot to do that. All right, so let's just kind of pull over here to the side for a minute, and let's see what we got as far as a contract goes out there, if anything. First of all, let's do a quick save. Hopefully, there's a contract out there that's not too horrendous. So we could do a sowing contract for about $2,000. There's another plowing contract out there. That is a 6.94 acre field. How in comparison, how big was this one compared to that? 8.88. So it is less, although a lot of this land looks like it's actually trees and stuff. So maybe it's not less. Field 44. Let's go look at 44 here. Where is 44? That looks a very similar size field, actually. Yeah, we're not going to take that one on. Is there anything else? I guess the sowing one is what we're going to have to do. I really don't want to do wood transport. I'm terrible at it. I guess we could do the dead wood, but the problem there is we can sell the trees afterwards, but we have no way really of being able to sell those. I'd have to chop them down into very, very small pieces and put them on our trailer and kind of carry them along that way. You know, whatever I could pick up by hand. Which I get. I mean, wood makes a real good amount of money for us, but I don't know, man. Doesn't seem like the smartest play in my eyes. So I think that would take us a while, although it's the best time to sell wood right now too, but it doesn't really fluctuate that much. The other idea I had was to kind of incorporate some form of a greenhouse of some sort in here, but I did take up, a good chunk of that room with the lake that we put in. Now, we do have a little bit of room over here. It's not anything crazy, but it is some room nonetheless. We could do something like this, but we don't have a water tank either, right? So that would require us to get some kind of a water tank if we're going to do this. And that's not something we currently own. We could buy it, but it's not something we currently own. So what I'm trying to get at is I guess we could go, put a couple of these greenhouses down here next to the fish lake, the trout lake, which in turn could produce a little bit of extra money for us, a little bit of extra income, right? I don't know. I just don't know which one to pick here, gang. I really don't. I don't know which one to do. I'm not sure. Olives. There's always this option too. We could go with, you know, some kind of a generator, but I don't really want to do that for this series. That just seems like we'd be cheating this series a little bit. Factory-wise, is there anything... I mean, unless we put down some kind of flower production, which I talked about potentially putting that here, but now we've got the trout lake going here, so we still have some room, right? We still have some room to play with. It's not like we couldn't do it, but... I mean, we've got the mill here for the flowers, so we really don't need that, right? See, the only other thing we can do... I think the greenhouse might be the way to go here. I really do. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll think about that between now, I guess, and the next episode, which actually should be tomorrow's episode, because we're doing back-to-back here on Thursday and Friday for this series. According to the schedule, which I started releasing a bit of a schedule on shorts, like a short schedule. I'm going to try to start doing that, I think, every week, as long as it continues to at least be a positive reception. I'm going to spend a little bit more effort on the next one. The first one, I was just kind of testing things out a little bit. We'll see. We'll see what I come up with. But anyway, we would have to buy seed. Well, actually, hold on. Wait. Do we have seed in here? I think we have seed in this. I didn't really look when we first got it. We have a small amount of seed. That's not going to be enough. There's another seed bag over here, a box, a pallet, whatever. 65 liters. So that's not really going to be enough, is it? Used Market has some really cool stuff out here, but nothing that we can afford. This thing would be phenomenal to have. Absolutely phenomenal to have that, but that is outrageous. The two harvesters also equally would be amazing to have either one of those, but again, way out of our price range. Nowhere near it. Even if we didn't do everything we did today, we would be nowhere near that amount. I guess we can do this one. It's $2,000. It's not a ton of money, but I mean, the plowing one is... I just don't want to do plowing again. That one took forever last time, so I don't really necessarily want to do that again. So, let's do it. Let's do the sowing contract here for the cotton sowing. We will have to buy a pallet of seeds, which is going to probably cost us near, it makes no difference, the same exact amount as we're probably going to make from this. But then we'll have extra seeds for ours whenever it's time to drill. So in the long run, it's going to be okay. So we'll borrow the items. We got a nice JCB Fast Track too, which are kind of cool. It's a kind of a cool machine. Alright, so we need to buy seeds. I'm just going to buy one. Should still make sure, it should still produce almost $1,000 that we'll get off of this contract, so, and we'll have the extra seeds as well, right? So, the one thing we need to make sure we do, though, is to make sure we drop the seeds off when we're done with the contract, right? We don't want to return this with all the seeds in there. That's just a waste of money. Okay, can we, please? Thank you. I gotta unfold this thing to fill it up. I forgot. Alright. Hopefully that 312 is enough. I'm actually thinking we might have been able to get away with it, because I think we had around 312 liters of seeds. Oh well. You know, it is what it is. What are you gonna do? I will do this, though. Deactivate auto seed rate. And then we want... How do I change the amount of seeds that are utilized? I thought it was just in here, but I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. Well, we got a long drive up there to do this. This is near an area we've been very familiar with. We haven't really done this field, I don't think, yet. Maybe we did at one time. but it's an area that we're very familiar with down there in that region. So let's head down there, and let's get underway here. I'm going to see if I can figure out what's going on here, why I can't modify the actual seed rate. Maybe it has to be, the seeder has to be on, we have to be in the field for me to change it. I don't know. Or I'm just completely missing it, which very well could be that too. I could 100% just be completely missing it on the screen here, and you're probably all yelling at me like, it's right there, see, it's right there. You're probably right, it probably is. Anyway, we'll figure it out. Let's see, we just gotta go straight down this road, right? Yeah. Alright, let's get to work. All right, that's all done. I'm actually just going to go ahead and drop off the rest of the seed here at the shop here, because we've already got to come back here anyway to pick up the remainder of the seed that's there. So we're just going to go ahead and do that. But I tell you what, going underneath that bridge and past that, it never gets old, man. I love that bridge. Absolutely love it. Love it, love it, love it. Let's unload here. We'll go ahead and collect the money, I guess I should say. Not collect the money for the contract as well. And we can return everything. Right, it is unloaded. Perfect. Do a quick autosave here. And we will collect. Definitely did not need to purchase any more seed, but that's okay. Too late now. Perfect. Back up basically where we started, and now we have another pile of seeds to go along with it. I'm going to leave the episode at that point. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you smash that like and subscribe button in case you've yet to do so. Thank you to my members. Cannot thank you guys enough. There's a link down below. If you're interested, you get early access to videos like this one, including the competitive one-tile challenge. My other channel's down below. Check that out if you're interested. There's also a Discord link down there as well, where you can share progress on anything that you are currently creating and follow progress along on both this channel and my other channel, as well as I post any video that I create on there. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. Happy New Year to you. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.